guys, welcome back. It's Melanie from She's Stitchin'. This swatch here is our next for our Just Another Crochet Along, and it is going to be for the bean stitch. It's very easy to work up, and I really love the texture that it creates. It's kind of thick. It would be a very warm blanket. I imagine this would be a really fun stitch to do on like the bottom of a beanie. It just needs to be worked up in multiples of 2 plus your turning chain. And so our first chain is going to be 31, and then we're just going to go ahead and go back into that second back bump from the hook. So there's the first one and the second one. We're going to go into that second back book from the second back bump from the hook, and then we're going to do single chains all the way across the rest of our starting chain, and that will start us off with 30 single crochets. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you real fast how to do a single crochet. In case you don't know, you're going to find your place where you're going to put it. I like to crochet into the back bump. Yarn through, you've got 2 on the hook, pull through 1, and you've got 2 on the hook, and then pull through the other 2. And that's a double or a single crochet. So just go ahead and complete that all the way across, and row 1 will be 30 single chains. And that is, of course, counting that first turning section. So I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I went ahead and counted back, and I have 30 single crochets, counting that first chain for the turning stitch. And I placed a stitch marker in there just to make sure that I get it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2 for our next row, and that's going to count as a single crochet. So I had forgot to mention that I'm using my Caron 1 pound, which is medium weight 4, and I'm using my 4.5 hook in order to maintain the gauge for our cowl. If you're not worrying about your gauge, just use whatever you're comfortable with. This will work with anything, although I would not recommend going any looser, or I'm sorry, I would not recommend going any bigger for hook than what the yarn itself recommends on the package, just because then the beans would be too loose. Okay, so we are starting off row 2, so we're going to go ahead and do that chain 2, so that's just going to count as our turning stitch. And then we're going to go ahead and start to do our first bean, and we're going to place that in the second space. So what you're going to do for bean is this will be repeated throughout the pattern. So we're going to go into the space, yarn over, and pull through. Then we have 2 hooks, or 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over with 3 loops, go under, yarn over, and pull it out. And then we have 4 loops. So we yarn over, go under, and pull back through the same hole. And now we've got 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to pull through all 6 loops, and then we're going to chain 1. So that is the bean stitch. So you can see that it's going to start to curve, or it's kind of, leaning over sideways, which is what we want. And make sure you put that chain 1 at the top. Okay? And then, as you can see in our sample, we're just going to skip that next space. So we skip this space, and then we're going to go ahead and do the bean stitch again. So we we skip the space and go into the next space, yarn over, pull through. We've got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, place it through, yarn over, pull back through. And then we've got 4 loops. We're going to yarn over again, yarn over, pull through, and now we've got the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we'll pull all that through, and then chain, and that completes our second bean. So let's go ahead and start with our third bean. I'll do it nice and slow for you again. It does kind of develop like a rowing kind of a hand motion pattern once you get used to it. So we skip this space and go into the next one. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over again, place through, pull the yarn back through. So then you've got 6 on there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pull through all of them. My yarn is getting stuck a little bit. Oh yeah, I see that there. Pull it all through all the way, and then do a chain. All right. So now that completes our third bean. Now we're going to go again. So if you've done the bobble before, the bobble normally you would yarn over first, but that would create too much height in the bean stitch. So that's why we don't yarn over first. That would be more of like the height of a double crochet. So the bean stitch is much more close to the height of a single crochet, while the bobble stitch that many of you have done before is closer to the height of a double crochet. So that's why we don't yarn over first, because we want to keep it a little bit shorter. Okay, so we're gonna start on our fourth. So we skip a stitch and go in here, yarn over, pull through. It does kind of help too if you want to pull up on this a little bit to make the yarn not wrap over itself and appear better on the beans. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place in, yarn over, pull back through. So you can just kind of pull up here, and then it'll kind of make them all the same height. Yarn over, pull through, push through, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through. Oh, that one didn't work. All right. So we're gonna go under, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place our hook back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place our hook back in, yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through and chain. All right. Let's go ahead and I'll do that one more time with you. So we skip that place. It is also equal to that same spot here. So because we have that chain one on top is while mathematically we're skipping that space there. Oh, my kids are calling me. They don't know I'm filming a video. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, right? And then we've got the 6. So as you can see, it starts to create that boom, boom, boom. And then I got that chain on the top, so I'll skip and I'll do that again. So once you get good enough at doing this, it does create kind of like a good rhythm going. All right, so 6 on the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me do one more at high speed, and then I'll do another at slow speed. So we place through, pull through, yarn over, place through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place through, yarn over, pull through, and then go back through. Oops. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to pull back through, but if you just rock your stitches a little bit, they should come through. All right, and then yarn over, or I'm sorry, and then chain. I'll do another one nice and slow for you to make sure that you're doing it right. My yarns be there. All right, so we skip a space and go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then pull it on through. All right, and then make sure to put that chain at the bottom to seal it off and give us the right placement. So you can see there, we're about halfway done with the first row. I will meet you at the end of the row to show you how to go up a row. Go ahead and push pause, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So I just went ahead and placed a stitch marker here. It's at the top of the chain 2, and before we start the bean stitch, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead back down here, and I'll finish off the last bean stitch with you. I just went ahead and placed a stitch marker here in the top of my chain 2, so when we get back to the other side, it'll be easier for us. And I'm going to finish off our last bean stitch with you. So we're going to go into the space here, yarn over, pull through. This is the third from the end. Yarn over, place, yarn over, pull, yarn over, place, yarn over, pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull through and chain, and then the last stitch we're going to do a single crochet. All right. So in total for our pattern, you're going to have 14 beans and the 2 stitches on the outside, the 2 border stitches. So the single chain here and the turning chain here that counts as a single crochet. And if you're working on a bigger piece, you should have 1 bean stitch for every 2 stitches of the regular stitches you have. So like we started out with 30, divide that by 2, that gives us 15. But then you got to take away 1 bean stitch for our edges here. So we get 14 beans and our 2 edge stitches. All right, so now we're going to turn, and I'm just going to do a chain 2, 1 and 2. And I'm going to place a stitch marker here. Sorry about that, I hit my camera. I'm going to place a stitch marker here just so that I can find it later. Oops. My 4-year-old is standing here watching me if you're hearing his breathing. Okay. So we just place that there. So we did this first row, and now we're going to be heading back the second row. So we're going to be placing our bean stitches after the bean stitches from the row below. So we're heading back on this second row here. All right, so we've got our chain 2. So we're going to be placing, when you pull this out, you can kind of see that Z, backward Z. We're going to be placing our hook here in order to build the bean. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through. And that gives us our 6. Then pull through and chain 1. So that's our first one. And you can see it's kind of just standing up straight. Once we go ahead, find that spot again, right here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push, yarn over, pull. We've got that 6. And then chain. So now we're going to start to lay down properly. I'll do that one more time. So we find, so you can see the Z. You can see the Z. Billy. And you can also see what we're going to be doing is we're placing it basically into that spot from the chain. So place your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push through, yarn over, pull through. Yeah, the oven's ready to make our cookies, huh? Okay, just a minute, buddy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through, and then chain. So yarn over, place through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place through, yarn over, pull through. Got 5 yarn. Wait. Oh. What did I do wrong? Oh, I yarned over before I started. Sorry about that. I'm anxious about the cookies we're about to bake. So place through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, place through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, push, yarn over, pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, and then chain. So there you can see the first 4. And this row is also going to have the 14 beans. The same as row 1, it also has the 14 beans. So go ahead and crochet to the end. I'm going to put some cookies in and then come back and crochet to the end, and I'll meet you at the other side. Okay, so here we are at the end of row 3. It's the second row with our bean stitches in it. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3 spots left. I'm just going to do this last one into the second to the last spot. So yarn over, or place through, yarn over, yarn over. All right, so now we've got 6, pull through, and then do the chain. All right, and then I'm just going to pull out the stitch marker that we had placed in the top of the turning chain, and I'm going to crochet our single crochet that ends the row into there. There we go. Okay, just do a single crochet. And then let me just show you how we turned again. So we're just going to turn the work and do chain 2. And then we're going to stretch that out and look for that Z again and go into here. So normally this chain, the turning stitch, counts as going into this space. Then we've got the one that we've been skipping on the top of the bean stitch, and we're going into that gap behind there. There we go. So I hope that you guys have been able to figure this out so far. I really, I'm not the one that chose this stitch. It was suggested to me by someone in the group on a week that I was sick, but I do really like this. I think it turns out really nice. That's for your dad, Robbie, not for me. So it has 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 rows of the bean stitch. And then it has the first beginning row down there was our single chain row. And then I've already gone ahead and put the border on this. So it does have 30 stitches across the top. Plus you can see we've got an extra stitch in each of the corners. So that makes it 32. And then also down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I was doing this, I divided it into 6. And then I put 5 single chains in, or single crochets into each section. I still need to go through and weave in my ends. But that's how we will be able to connect it to the rest of our crochet along. I hope that you've enjoyed this stitch. It was really fun for me to do. And I really like the texture. I think it will be really fun to line like the bottom of a beanie or anything like that. And I do also think that, I know one thing that's been really popular lately has been like weighted blankets. And because this is a thicker stitch, I think that might be, you know, something that would be good. And it also has a really nice repetitive texture. So it is nice for like a sensory object if you're looking for something of that nature. And I just want to preview real quick what our stitch for next week is going to be. Ta-da! Okay, just a real quick preview. That's all you get. It should be coming out in a few days. I've been quarantined here in our house. It's the middle of the coronavirus for me, the COVID virus. We just are in our week and a half of self-isolation with the kids, and my husband's home. So we're trying to stay safe here. And I really hope that you guys do the same. If you would like to follow me on other places, I also have an Instagram, a TikTok, a Tumblr, and a Reddit. And they're really fun platforms. And you might get some previews of my stitches there. And also, I really want to encourage you, if you have a Facebook, to join our Facebook, Just Another Crochet Along, or I'm sorry, Just Another Crochet group, because it's a great resource there to see how everybody else is doing with their stitches and to see how everybody else is. Oh, baby, don't do that.
That's what you watch.
Oh, you're showing my watch, but my son was showing my watch. Don't do that, Bubba. So it's a great opportunity to see how other people are working. So I hope that you enjoy everything so far, and let me know. Make sure to subscribe and comment if you have any questions, or if you really appreciate it, give us a like or a thumbs up. And if anyone asks where I am until my next video, just tell them she's stitching.